this is my second time doing this. The reason is because I did not like the first one. So yeah, this is my second time, and so he's gonna have 4 quirks. Very useful in this. Okay, he's going to have immunity, so like he can't get sick or anything. So this means that the bites or scratches will not affect him. So he's immune. Then he's gonna have gunsmith, or let's call it gunsmith because it's easier enough. He knows how to use any let's just say advanced. He's gonna have intelligence. Okay, so he's super smart and advanced weaponry. So he knows how to use anything instantly. When he was born, he pretty much got like a flash of everything, how to use a weapon for every weapon. Okay, and he's used to this. Okay, and then his fourth one is gonna be creation. Okay, but he can't. He could only create like say fuel. Right, he's just gonna be only creating fuel. Let's say he can create food and meds only. And like small sharp objects like knives and ammo. Ammo is hard though. He can't make any guns, or like he could probably just make one machete and one baseball bat at just once during a day. Okay, but he can make like 3 combat knives. Okay, so Bakugo asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because Deku thinks about his quirks and he says, I want to be in the military. So Bakugo respects this because he's like, okay, you'll be protecting us from things like that, and I'll be protecting people from other threats, right? And so yeah, that happens, and they're gonna be good friends in this. Like, yeah, they're just really good friends because he knows what Deku wants to be. He respects it. He's like, okay, we're both gonna be protecting, but he's like, but you could still be a hero because with that creation, you could be like a support hero. He's like, yes, and I would be supporting you. He's like, because they have like that brotherly bond, right? They just have a brotherly bond, so. Because let's just say Inko just left Deku because she didn't like how his quirks were made for like military. She wanted her son to be a hero for she could be rich, right? Because she's like that mom, I guess. Let's just say. Okay, so he lives with Deku. Deku lives with Bakugo and Mitsuki. Okay. So yeah, he's used to living with them. He's like, oh, this is my mom, this is my brother, this is my dad, right? He's used to them now. At first he's like, oh, Miss Mitsuki, hey Kachan, right? But he just calls them brother, mother, and dad now. His dad's on seas, so he's gonna know what this is first because they're gonna tell him, because they're gonna have like, when this starts, they're gonna say, like, he's about to head home to go see Deku and Mitsuki and Bakugo. But they say that you can't go, and they're all wondering why. Right? And he says, because there's this outbreak, something's wrong on the land, so now we're going to stay here for a while until they figure it out. And everyone's scared because they don't know how much food supplies they have. They're like, will we be able to survive this enough? Right? And everyone's just freaking out except for him because he's like, I don't care what they say. Right? I don't care what they say, I'm leaving. And he just leaves. Like, he gets on a little boat and starts going. He sees land, and he doesn't really think anything. Right? He doesn't think anything about it. He's like, okay, nothing's so bad. And he's right beside Japan. They were just going to stay on the shore of it, kind of. Let's just say that. So yeah. Let's say that they say 2 people want to go to UA. Deku and Bakugo, but everyone's surprised that Deku wants to go. He's like, I could just be a support hero, right? If that doesn't happen, I'm just gonna go to military. Everyone's like, oh, nice, like respects him. Like no one bullies him. Like they all respect Deku because they know what Bakugo wants to be and they know what Deku wants to be. If his plan doesn't work as a support hero or just as a regular hero, right? Let's say they both get in and Deku's is training to be a hero instead of a support because the support did not work out. He's like, oh man, right? And let's say that they never did the Korkin test, right? And let's say that Mineta was out and they replaced that with Togo because why not? Oh. Ship, I do not know what I should do for that. You guys tell me. Like, this is all yours. Okay. Like, all your drift. Okay, so yeah. Let's say, like, a month of school has happened. Deku doesn't care if he's not in the support. He still helps Mei with stuff. He's like, can I get a pass to support? He's like, why? Just to do stuff? He's like, oh, it doesn't care really. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? He's like, I know you wanted to be a support hero, and I don't know why they said that you couldn't. He's like, because I made an invention that exploded on me instantly when I picked it up. He's like, okay, he's like, yeah, you're still a support, just go, right? So he goes, he just does whatever he wants. He knows about his other quirks. He's like, well, I guess I won't really be needing these unless I make a, like, baton or stuff, right? Because he knows a baton, and he pretty much knows how to use a, let's say, a capture gun, like shoots nets and stuff, rubber bullets. And then the alarm goes off, and everyone's confused, and they're supposed to go in on top of the roof just in case, right? Everyone's panicking up the stairs. Deku gets smacked to the wall and sees that a person's eating another person. Let's say they're eating three zombies are eating 4 security guards, right? And one of them sees him, Deku, on the window, and the zombie just does a blood-curdling scream, and all of the others see it where he's screaming towards, right? And they all fold. Like, they don't care about the remaining, because now more zombies are coming through. And he says, we need to go, Bakugo. Because let's say that let's say Bakugo, Suyu, and Kirishima are really good friends. Like, Bakugo is really good friends with Suyu also in this universe, okay? Let's say that I'm gonna probably make this ship Suyu and Deku, but like with someone else, maybe if you guys want. Okay, so yeah. Like, let's just say Suyu and Deku are dating, right? And he's like, okay, gotta grab Suyu, Kirishima, and Bakugo, and Tokiyami, because Tokiyami is good friends. Like in the last, like in our other one, right? So they don't even go. They go outside to run because they know that they see everyone going up there and they see the zombies like vaulting in, like they're breaking in from, like, say they could jump, like, say to the second floor, and that's where, let's say, like 25% of them are, and they're trying to break it, the glass, like they're cracking it barely. Like, say it's a little cracked, and then more comes, bigger it comes, and they're all trying to get out. And like, there's helicopters up there, like there's 50 helicopters evacuating, like, say 10 students at a time with every one, right? So 50, let's say 300 get out. No, not 300, because I'm pretty sure there's like 200 students in there. No, let's say there's 500 students, and let's say 400 make it, and the rest die. But Suyu, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Deku run. They're out there, and he's like, okay, everyone knows how to use a knife at least, right? And so he's like, I know how to cook, and he's like, okay, so you gotta be careful then, right? He makes a combat knife, kill with this. No cooking or killing. He makes 2 combat knives, a machete, and a bat. The bat goes to Bakugo, and he takes the machete. And then he starts making little packs of ferment. And out of nowhere, zombie bites Deku. He kills it instantly without ease. And they're like, oh no, Midoriya, please don't. He's like, it's okay, I'm immune to everything. I can't get sick or anything. Like, they see his skin start rosening, and then it goes back to normal. He's like, oh, okay, thank God. So he was mostly scared because, you know, Deku and her are dating. If you guys want me to add someone else to it, because I'm probably going to keep it like that for now. Actually, for a while. You know? So, yeah. She was like, oh, really? She's like, okay, my boyfriend's not going to kill me. Or anything like that. She's like, okay, my boyfriend's not going to die, and neither am I. Because she's safe with him. She's... Oh my god. It's not even good, he's just using a sniper. Dude, hurry. Yes. Thank you. So yeah, that happens. And like, they see a bus, they hotwire it, because UA's at college, Deku knows how to drive. They make it there safely, with ease. Like, if there's zombies nearby, they would have just killed. Right? So, they're all happy that Midoriya is on their side and not one of them. So they're like, oh, thank gosh. Oh my god. Right, so yeah. Sorry, I'm getting off track because I'm playing Apex right now. Sorry. They go out to the country and they just see this mansion. Let's say that Ozawa and Cementos came with them. Because they saw them running and they had to make sure that their students were going with them. But the helicopter already left with All Might and the rest of the teachers. Okay? And they're like, oh, great. So they're just stuck, right? And they're just going and they see this mansion and he's like, okay. And Deku is intelligent, so he knows what he's doing. He's like, Cementos, make 3 walls. He's like, what do you mean? Just make them, right? And let's say Momo went with them. Momo and Todoroki, okay? They saw them and they're like, okay, Momo, if you can, try to make a machine gun turret. It's like, a machine gun turret? That's a lot of work, Deku. She's like, I know, but you can make one every week, can't you? Like, you can try to make one every day if you can, right? Or just make parts for it. He's like, I can make the parts easily. She makes, let's say, 3 turrets parts, and Deku is intelligent enough, so he is like a mechanic in this universe. He just builds, he like puts one down, puts like, let's say, because he can make ammo easily, because like he's done this with ease. He's like, he makes 50,000 ammo for all 3 turrets, right? He's like, okay, I'm tired. Let's go see what's in this house, just in case, be ready to fight. He's like, Bakugo's like, hey, Deku, I'll fight I'll protect you, right? And Sue's like, I will too. And Deku already knows how to fight, and so does, like, Zawa. Cementos knows how to use a gun, let's say. So he's just he's just making 3, let's say there's 1 main wall, right? And it goes pretty far, like 100 meters out wide. No, like 100 yards wide, like a football field, kind of. No, let's say 3 football fields, right? That's pretty big enough, I feel like. And then he makes another one as big as that, but small, like with enough room for they could walk through and stuff. And then the 3rd wall is like where the mansion is, so it's more protection around their area if the zombies get through. Okay, Zuka's like, okay, we might have to look for more people in our group. And then they said, okay, we need food also. I can make food easily without anything, right? So he's just, let's say he makes bucket and there's a water stream near them for convenience, and they just make gardens. There's already like cows and stuff, let's say, and they just kill, breed them together. They don't like it's for several vital for fitness. Like there's cows, pigs, everything that they need. Like let's say it's a mansion and also a farm, right? So yeah, that happens. And let's say it's a month, and they have enough food supplies and um, vegetables and stuff, right? And then, like, it's if it's getting cold, they already made like a little greenhouse, so they already know what they're doing. Like, Deku knows what is going on and stuff. Okay, so yeah. And he's like, okay, I don't think we need a scavenger or anything because Momo's made like, let's say, 50 different types of guns, and the turrets are all made, defenses are all put up, right? And let's say they have a radio and they're just contacting whoever they can. They're like, okay, let's just wait. And let's say Deku's the leader, is always like, they're second in charge. Cementos is also in like third in charge. Bakugo's gonna be fourth. Like all of them are in charge of different areas, but Deku is the main leader of it. He's like, okay, right, and then they get a call from UA, and they're like, we have cleared out UA. This is a new base, and let's say that there's a scavenger team going towards this direction. If anyone's near, please let them stay for like the night. And they contact her like, okay. They hear it's Izuku Midoriya. Nezu does. He's like, Midoriya? He's like, hello, Nezu. Almost there too. He's like, Midoriya, what? And they're like, who's all with you? He's like, Kirishima, Cementos. And when they heard Cementos, they were mad that Cementos went with them. Because right now they're only using the walls that they just have, right? And they're like, Cementos is with you? Are you serious? He's like, yes, Cementos, Azawa, Kirishima, Bakugo, Tsuyu, Todoroki, and Momo. And like, let's say that Todoroki it's like if their gasoline source goes out, he would just make heat source, right? Makes a big flame because he's like, okay, if I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna have to use heat also, right? He's like, okay, so but that's gonna be in a long time because they have tons of fuel, right? So yeah, they're like, okay, like yeah, sure. He's like, what is your base? And Deku is like, here, let me send do something, and he flies a drone outside, right? He's like, okay, let me show you and record. Like, he's like he's like FaceTiming with them, and they see that Deku's the boss here. He's like, because Ozawa comes in and he's like, hey, Midoriya, we have people coming near. We have like a scavenger team. He's like, yeah, I know. Let them in. Let them only into the first wall. And they're like, first wall? What do you mean? We have 3 walls. Like, really? Like, yes. And like, Deku sends their drone out, and they see how long it is and how defense is, and they see like, and when they're like going through, they just see their cattle, their vegetables, and they have canned foods and everything. Like they have every type of weapon, like 10 of those. Let's say like not 10, like they have 50 assault rifles, 300 pistols, 5 sniper rifles, right? Suppressors are like on every weapon. There's a suppressor. It doesn't matter. Suppressor on every single weapon, right? Because they know that zombies they already have knowledge of what these things can do and how deadly they are, because they captured them. They're like, how many people are with you? It's like, pretty much everyone except for 100 students. He's like, oh god. He's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. He's like, it's okay. Right? So, yeah. that happens. It's like, okay, we'll let them in. Right? That's it. Okay, sorry. I'm in like in a fight right now. Nice. Okay. Let's just say that Nezu's like, okay, we might have to make an alliance with them in the future, but I don't know how if we should make it with them now, right? Because Deku doesn't trust them at all. He's like, maybe something's up with them, right? Because he doesn't really trust them. He's like, just so you know, I will not be. He's like, I do not trust you guys at all. And this is like, but we're your old teachers. He's like, yes, you were my old teachers, mentors. Doesn't matter. This is something different instead of school, right? And they all acknowledge this. Is like oh god, no. So like Nezu's like, now we actually might need to make an alliance because he won't just give us stuff for free, right? So he's like, okay, I understand. He's like, yeah, I understand, right? He's like, good. I'll be letting them stay. How long am I letting them stay? Hey, we'll give them food. He's like, oh, thank you. Just, well, it's hard because now there's different, like all over the place, there's zombies around us. He's like, that's what I thought. That makes sense. Pretty good stuff. No, they don't. It's just because our generators are loud. Like, you idiots, you idiots. Like, oh my god, no wonder then, right? Like, oh, that makes sense then. There's multiple. He's like, no wonder, because sound attracts them. He's like, oh, okay, I see, I see. So they're like, then what do we do? Is like, try to make fire. Like, where are your generators? Outside. He says, why are they outside? They could damage them easily, right? They're having like an argument, like how they should be doing this, and they're like, but it's more resource, but it has more space for people to come in. Wait, it's like you're letting survivors come in also? It's like, yeah, like we're still heroes, you know? And it's like, okay, yes, I get that you guys still have your heroism, but you gotta understand, people are also gonna be dying because of this. Because if you let enough people in, and food sources start going away and away, you guys aren't gonna have enough food for yourselves or for everyone else, right? He's like, oh my god. He's like, okay. He's like, okay. We gotta get things. He's like, oh my god, you guys are stupid, right? And like he says this out loud, and they're like, excuse me? And he's like, oh, you guys heard me, thank God, right? So yeah, that happens. Like, they just had their argument. And Deku's just already mad, right? Let's say that Momo also likes Deku, right? And like, let's just say Momo, Suyu, and Deku are dating, because why not? If you guys want more, I guess. Or like a different ship. Or like, I could do, here, let's just say none of them are dating. Whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do for you. Okay. But I do like Suyu and Deku, Momo and Deku. I like any girls with Deku. Right? Like, it could be a pro hero, I don't care. Right? So yeah, that happens. And like, Deku's like, okay. He goes out and sees who it is. And let's say it's Jiro, Mirko, and Ryuko. Ryuko and Mirko are Bunny the Rabbit Hero and Dragon Hero. Okay? So yeah, let's just say they stay for the night. And that's going to be where I'm going to end it off, guys. Goodbye. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the stutters or like the quiet silence and the gunfire you hear in the background. I am playing Apex Legends. So yeah, peace out. Bye.